Hello and welcome back to another After Effects video. So in this video, I'd like to look at doing some 3D animation and things like that. So currently got my butterfly, I can set it up in the scene. I've got the scale right, everything that I want here. And yeah, so we could say that like we're happy with the anchor point. We're happy with the Z position being this size. Maybe we could bring it a bit closer. So what I'd like to do is think about maybe the left face of the butterfly. So I want the butterfly to fly in at an angle, and maybe want it to fly in this the long part of it, and then maybe rotate a little bit afterwards. So where are we going to position it? We want to position it at the back, right? So let's think about a good position to position it. Maybe it doesn't need to be outside the stage. Um, but we could think about maybe changing some factors as well. Uh, all right. So we do our position, and let's just think where, because the good thing about the active camera is we can actually see depth with this, right? So we could actually just choose our initial position to be something which has got some reasonable depth to it. Um, let's think. Can you not see the? All right. All right. So let's maybe create some depth quickly. Uh, hmm. It's not terrible, right? So if we're coming in from the back, right? Okay. All right. So if we're coming in from the very back, so that's going to be so the Z value we know. Let's just think about our position then. So the Z value is obviously it's going to be from the back. So say we're coming in from like I don't know, like what 2000? Yeah, I mean that's pretty far back. Um, we should be able to see that though if we just zoom in a little bit, right? Oh, well, it's way over on the left. All right. So let's just see what position we come in if we just go across from here, right? And then we need to get to basically this point needs to be a 0. Okay. But we probably don't want to just come in straight like that. Uh, and we also probably don't want to the orientation to be. This one is like interesting. It's like normally normally in the past I call for X rotation here. I'm happy with it where it is there. Let's try the X rotation being different here. You know, we could just do all of them actually. It might not be a bad idea. It might come. It might have some interesting results. If we just do all of them. Okay. We'll just see what it does, right? It'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's like if it's not an animation itself, it kind of maybe let's have a couple of more rotations than that. I mean, that actually starts to look a little bit more realistic in terms of the actual butterfly movement. I wouldn't say that's that unrealistic. All right, but obviously, our position at the beginning is still wrong, right? And there's a simple way to fix that, though. Just do that, right? We can move it somewhere else. That might look a bit better, right? If we did it something like that. Hmm. Funnily enough, it actually looks really good up until like it. Do I need to do this? Maybe I can get away with not doing that. It feels like a butterfly's movement is like just kind of random, so it's just kind of useful. Let me just try changing one of them to more. The X isn't good. Well, my feeling is probably the Z is the one to change, but let's see. Wait a minute. Did I change the... let's change the Z. I think the Z might be the one. The only thing I could try maybe is just going a little bit further on these numbers. Let's see, just a little bit. I don't want it to be too much. Hmm. Let's try 8008. Yeah, I feel like that's not terrible, right? To do something like that. What might be interesting is just to... Can you... I'm not sure if you can do Wiggler on like a bunch of them at the same time. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it, right? But you'll let me do it on two, right? How's that look? I do it on all of these. Apply. Not hugely realistic. All right, so you can see what's happened there anyway. If you look at the numbers, um, in terms of the quadrant, right? Um, so you can see we're off in the X direction. And just to sort of like illustrate this point again, you can see this is going to be on the other side if we're looking on from the right-hand side. Interestingly, it looks a lot closer there. I guess there is like a... Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting, actually. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not that far away, but it kind of tells me that maybe these viewports, the actual position of the eyes is not exactly where you think it is. It's not necessarily in the middle of the screen. It's like more in a corner. That's what it must be that. I mean, there's no other explanation for that being like that. But anyway, doesn't really matter. But yeah, where can we go from this position? Um, we could go right up to the camera now, maybe. Should we go right up to the camera? Yeah, why not? So currently we're at 0. Uh, so here we might want to be really close to the camera. So what about 3000? That's way too big, isn't it? Normally minus 1000 is where you want to be. And you know what would be kind of cool is at this point it's also facing off to the left as well. So let's think about how's that at 0? All right, so we need to. I guess we haven't changed the orientation at all, so we probably want to pose it here. Let me just see if I just do 0, 0, 0. I can't even remember which way it's facing initially. Was it here? No. I should use this little axes thing. Yeah, it's Z. It's Z, right? I think it's Z. Sure is. How are we getting on there? You know what we could do as well, which would be interesting, is if we did like an alpha channel around from it. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do like a title reveal. I could get it to rotate around. Yeah, that might be an interesting thing to do. Typically, it's better not to do it quite like that, but that's the thing. It's to do with orientation or rotation. Let's do maybe another rotation here. So where would I like it to go this time? Let's make it go onto the top of the thing, but not off the stage. So we'll do if we want it to go on the top, we want to look from it from the back, right? Sorry, not from the bottom rather. That's where I want to look at it. Okay, so that is the current trajectory of it. And where should we go with this? So we're going to move. Let's try moving it, shall we? To see where we end up. It might need to move a bit further back just to get it in. Let's move a bit further back. Well, you need to move a lot further back. All right, bro. It's in. Let's see what happens. Let's see what that did to it. So now we're at the back. Is there a way we can like go around through the screen at that?